Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening. As A.K. and Bridgeman, evening, gentlemen.
Oh, can I say a big good evening to yourself, Ox Chair, and EK, or AK rather, and of course the techie boys in the background. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans listening all over the world, I feel every bit as bad as you. Honest to goodness, I do. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
I think AK's dropped out, mate, but hopefully right back ways, Bridge. How are you, Bridge?
I'm okay, pal. I've recovered slightly after the game, but you know, it's what can I say?
What can you say?
Yeah, well,
anyway, AK's back with us. Evening, AK.
All right.
Evening, Ox. Sorry about that, pal. Evening, Ox, Bridgeman, the techie team, and everybody that's listening.
Usually at this time, we would dissect the game, go through the game. I don't think the football match tells the story. Bridgeman, me and you were on yesterday after the game, so we've said a bit in pieces, but AK, thoughts? And then we'll go straight to the tune.
Aye, very much so. Disaster. Indefensible. Not acceptable. All the words that's been said before with yourselves and our platforms. Disaster. Worst result in our history, right up there, if not the worst. And I think it is. It's definitely the worst that I've seen in my lifetime being a Rangers supporter. Just for start to finish, we've spoken about it often enough, haven't we? Attitude and application wasn't there, and you can't pull on your shirt and be short in that area. That's the least to be expected of your players, a manager, or set up. The team that he picked, I don't think you could have questioned this team. To be honest with you, I thought it was more than strong enough to beat a championship team, but they just didn't play. The arrogance or the attitude of them, you know, it was just complacent for the first whistle. I think they just expected to roll over. Queen's Park, just the same they did the previous round against Fraserburgh, but Queen's Park are a wee bit more organised, they're a wee bit more astute, they're a professional body, they've got a good manager, and they're fitter players. So the shape and everything they could, you know, go the distance and turn the crowd on Rangers to get their goal. One shot at goal and they scored, and that just changed everything. But we should never have been in that situation, Ox, but a terrible result for the club, the history of the club, everything.
Yeah, of course. Attitude, application, all the attitudes that we're all going to mention a lot in the next week or so, but I don't know, there seemed a disconnect. I accept your point. It would have been, most people would have started most of the players. There's an argument you'd have went with Dessers and Igaman up top, and what Barjami done to justify he's turned in the invisible man. By the way, I'm not blaming one man yesterday. I might single some out. It was collectively, it was appalling. But Barjami, for weeks now, has been the invisible man. So we changed our system. The manager and his wisdom changed for Dessers and Igaman, or just Igaman with, well, I suppose Barjami has been beside him in some of the games, but I just couldn't farm that out, Bridge, and we ended up in the first half. There's times we were going forward, the defenders being nobody in the box. Nobody in the box. I don't get it, mate.
Well, we started off slowly, can I say? Although we were back.
Started that slowly and get slower.
Exactly, yeah. That's what it felt like. It looked as if, well, we're going to. Look, this is only Queen's Park. I'm not saying any one person saying that. I think every single one of them, and they've got guys on the bench and the manager, may I say, probably thought that. This is a cakewalk for us. Don't get injured, It's in their mind. Don't get injured. Take it easy, and so on and so forth. But that young team in Queen's Park absolutely ran the legs off of some of our players in the first half. We were by far the better team, and we had 99% of the game in the first half. And my God Almighty, we were struggling. Once we got, I would say, maybe 30 yards from goal, they just closed up. They put other players that were available into the box, and they had like 4 men in front of the goalie, and then another 4 men in front of them. That's what it looked like. It just looked as if we'll never get through this mob. And we tried and huffed and puffed, and it just didn't happen. And I'm not blaming anyone other than the players, right? No, we'll say, I can't say the players, because last night I was blaming the manager, and I'm still blaming the manager, because it's the tactics that were wrong, in my opinion. However, it's not the first time we've done that. There's a number of games that we've played where we struggled right up to the 90th minute and scored a goal. The 85th minute scored a goal and silver blushes. But my God, for Tavernier to miss that penalty, that just put the kibosh on the whole thing for me. Terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah, listen, I don't think that's been talked about that much, because it's been forgotten about in the melee. But you're right, Bridge. But AK, I think the point that Bridge made, it was at walking pace. And I know the young boy Rice might take a bit of stick, but he's got a style of play. He's no dynamic. But if he wants to play in that Rangers midfield, he's got to move, mate.
Young Bailey Rice, you talk about there, yeah. I would side, and Allbears intimated before the first time that they seen him. That was obviously it was a fault in his game. He was good on the ball. He'd an individual that looks up, likes to spray a pass and that, and look pretty. The Hollywood pass kind of across field to fun his man. But you've got to do the work off the ball, and I think that's what Clement was unhappy about. Missing Raskin in that kind of injured room and
Raskin was awful in the second half as well, mate. Awful.
I know. But listen, it's indefensible. Indefensible for every single individual player, and indefensible for the manager as well. It's a collective responsibility, though. So, but it's just a terrible performance, a terrible result. But I've still got to give credit to Queen's Park if you want. I don't want to, but they were dogged. They stuck to their game plan. They knew. I mean, Callum Davison's actually, that's him done a cup double errors, because he came and done pretty similar tactics when we were flying high in the league, and he brought his St Johnstone team to Ibrox already, having won a League Cup in the bag, and done the exact same, except with a crowd in Ibrox yesterday. But he knows what he's doing, Davidson. He was a defender himself, so he knows how he set up a team. But obviously they had belief in their system, and quite rightly so. It's a cup tie. You got to earn the right to get yourself into the next round, as Liverpool won with Plymouth yesterday.
I'm not having that, and I'm not accepting the Liverpool and Plymouth one, mate. Putting that on the odds. This is us, Glasgow Rangers, against Queen's Park. It's a different competition with different. You'll find that the Plymouth players will be getting well rewarded, mate. Yeah, different scenarios. We were appalling in the whole team. Queen's Park, off our hat to them for their energy, but we were no idea, no pace, no application, no desire, no skill, no movement, no shape again. The two doing the wings, the two boys were marking each other at times. In the middle with no centre forward, because when Niggerman comes out and plays with nobody in the box, because that's the way the boy plays. We know what he's like, Bridge. He's a bit of a maverick. He comes out in the hole and he plays and he tries to get round and tries to shoot. His decision making was poor. Pajama, the invisible man, Cherny a couple of times done all right. Over the piece, he was no great. Hadji was worse than him. All were forward players. All of them were absolutely atrocious. Bridgeman.
I don't think we found any form at all in any position in the field, to be honest. Anything like what we were expecting until maybe the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, including the 5 minutes of injury time. Then they seemed to up their game a wee bit and get in there. And the more they tried, the more they huffed and puffed, the less they got in there. And okay, that's when you started to see some shots going through, getting past the defence, and their goalkeeper was up to virtually all of it. I think it was, I don't use this term very often as far as football's concerned, particularly
All
my
right, I
club
thought
and
you
my
were
team.
going to say, do you want it around?
No. I think it was from the manager down to the last subby, last one that was sitting on the bench. Every single one of them pathetic, absolutely pathetic.
The manager
for a Rangers team, pathetic.
The manager and the highly paid coaching staff as well. They don't miss them. You don't miss them neither.
No, none of them. Everybody
none
in that. Oh, sorry, Paul.
No, on you go, Bridge.
No, you got me started again. So what I'm meaning is, managers the top, and every single one of them on the park and off the park, all the officials, all the boys, and Alex Ray, including him, all of these guys, they're all there and they're all part of it. What the setup is, what's that, and next thing, and how after 20 minutes watching that game, how none of they guys could turn and say, we're no in this game at all. Come on, let's get it changed. I was shouting for a change halfway through the first half. Come on, get something done here. Because every time they got the ball and they started playing their nice wee, their nice wee bits of football, we couldn't take the ball off them. It was them that lost the ball. It gave us it, or they had a long ball down, the goalkeeper picked it up. But we couldn't string two passes together. We were passing 40-yard crossfield passes and it was going out for a throw-in. We were about 10 or 15 yards away from our player. Terrible stuff. Sorry, God.
No, listen, there's a lot of players can do the basics and skill and people have got ability, but when professional football is a lot about attitude. AK, help me with our attitude yesterday.
Oh, deplorable, Ox. But this is the thing, though. It's not just an isolated game, an isolated result. This has happened numerous times already this season. It happened last season. It's happened under previous managers. You can drag it back to Cassini, McCoy, Warburton, all the way up to present day. They play a lot of the players is left now, but it still seems to be there's something in that dressing room when it comes to attitude and application. Leadership on the part is zero. Where's having here, try to get gene up players run about them. Where's the counter responsibility? It's all right to point the finger at the manager all the time, but the players walk over that white line. They're wearing that jersey, they're representing the club, they're representing themselves. Where's the professional pride in doing a job for our club and beating a team of amateurs? Because that's what they are. So the players have got to take a massive accountability, and they never seem to do, Ox. It's always the manager.
In any football club, unfortunately or unfortunately, the players get away with it. Basically, time scot-free, and the manager carries the can. Listen, I just want to take you. Somebody mentioned something today, and I hadn't really looked at it. But if you go back a full calendar year, it was the end of February last year, where we beat Hearts 5-0, and let's be honest, we thought that was it, and we were a stepping stone. Then we won. We came behind a few days later, and we at Kilmarnock 1-2 and won the game 2-1. Tavernier and Tom Lawrence, I believe. I think Tom Lawrence got the winner. We come back 1-2-1, showed it, and then at the start of March, because just take a note of this, AK, with your cranes there. Yeah, get the old Creolas out, right?
I was there.
Right, so we then lost to Motherwell 2-1 at home, right? So we think it's a blip. So that's last March. You then go to April, yeah? With the debacle, the game at Ibrox where we go 2-0 down, we weren't organised with the wind. It was howling to make sure we didn't make basics. Anyway, we come back and got a draw. Unusual circumstances again. Then still a big game. The following game, we've lost to Ross County. We've then drew to Dundee. So that's April, March and April. You with me? Yeah. You then move into May, right? We've lost 2-1 to them away, and we've lost the cup final, right? Circumstances and all, and we could have done. There's March, April, and May, bad results. Yeah. Okay, you with me?
Yes.
Right. So we then move into this season. Yeah. So the season starts in August. Yeah. first game of the season. What happened?
0-0 to Hearts.
Then we away draw, and then we've lost. Still in August, yeah. We've lost 2-0 at Hampden. All right. There is circumstances behind it. I know the boy gets sent off for nothing, but we lost 2-0. So in the first 4 games, we've won 1. That's August to term. We then move into September. The 1st of September, we get 3-0 away from home against them, yeah? We then move into October, and there's games we played, and then as a game stands out, absolutely abysmal. After an international break, we think my team will be fresh. What happened when we went away to Kilmarnock? We lost. That's October. You then move into November. What happened? Ibrox, home, 1 each, Dundee United. Abysmal. November. December, do I need to talk about the Christmas period, AK?
I carry on. Aye, carry on.
The Christmas period. St Mirren lost. Motherwell drew. Yeah, then we beat them in January. Sets myself up. I'm thinking, here we go. We're away to Hibs, away to Dundee. We'll win both of them. Drew both of them. We move into February, and we've had our worst result in our history, mate. It's time, mate. This can't go on. It's time. Whatever we're doing on the park is the working. It's every month in a calendar year now.
By the way, that was well done for you had all that information. So super duper well done, Oxshire.
Can I just say? I
know. Can I just say that it's startling? It's just startling. Now, I said last night how I'm feeling. You have heard me now how I'm feeling, and I don't think there are very many Rangers fans not feeling like I am. I think there's some of them are quite willing to give the guy another chance. In my opinion, I love the guy. I wanted him to be here, but over the last 12 months, I don't think he's done very much good for us, apart from the odd game. And then you start to agree, it's all going to be great again. And look at us now. We're not even halfway. We're not even hit Valentine's Day, and we're out the cups. We're out of 2 cups, and our deadly foe is like 16 points ahead of us or something like that. I mean, just utter nonsense, you know. Just utter nonsense.
When I looked at it like that, it's every month, AK. It's frightening.
Listen, that is when you say it like that and you see it in black and white. It's indefensible. But I think the board sold Sol Common a duck egg. Well, for the team that he thought he was coming in to take over, a European finalist team, he's the rug but below him, you know. So he's lost all his best players, or most of his best players for the European team. Hold on. You had your speak. Let me finish.
Look,
Right,
remember, I just press a button and you stop talking. Remember that.
Aye.
So who was the European players and his best players that he lost? Tell me who they were.
They lost Lundstrom. They lost
So he was my best player.
I'm just giving you a fact, Talks. Right?
Who were the best players we lost?
I'm just telling you. Right? And he lost his, Bill. Oh my God. The players that he sold to then replace with the duds that he brought in.
Mm-hmm.
It's collective responsibility. It's been mismanagement for years, from top to bottom. Mm-hmm. And Clement has been left with everything. That he didn't sign up for that. He went through an interview process where we brought in Graham Souness, you know, the football expert, and the board went against him. John Bennett and James Bisgrove decided, no, Souness, your pick, Frank Lampard, no, we're going to go for Clement. You know, so they're even ignoring the football. Many times have we said that they should have a football guy on that board to kind of guide them in that fact of matter, because Ross Wilson was getting free rein at a recruitment, It's cost us tens and tens and tens of millions. The contracts that we were putting on, we couldn't get rid of them because of the thousands that were on. We were getting Connor Golson 40 grand a week there enough. Tavernier's on that to sell. Butland were on that. Geez, I'm even hearing the night that Clement's on 50 grand a week. It's obscene. The money.
Who told you that?
It was reported on Radio Clyde tonight.
He was always right about our club.
Right. But I've seen it in other forums. I don't know if there's any truth in it. I've no looks, but that is reported.
I would imagine he will be on that. If all things being equal, there'll be a lot of bonuses in that involved. If we were successful, we might be on round about that 8K. I don't think he would far away. Yeah.
Right.
If we were successful, yeah.
Right. Do you know? I think that's an excessive amount.
Well, you might find there's a massive bonus in there if you go into the Champions League. Yeah.
Right. Well, I accept that. Aye. Well, he's got his qualification in Europe twice out of the group, so he won the group this year. His
European record. When you go through the monthly games and you look at the European record's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And up until yesterday, his Ibrox record was up there, mate. That game against Motherwell stood out.
Aye.
You know, and he done okay at Ibrox. I mean, the performances weren't great, but the results were okay. You know.
Listen, I agree with a lot of what you say. You know, I'm no blind. I've got no affiliation to Clement as your manager. I couldn't give a monkey's who a Rangers manager is. I couldn't give a monkey's who most of the players is or who the directors is. It's the club that I've grew up. You know, same as yourself.
Here's my take on it. Here's my take on it. I'm a simple man, as you well know. Maybe not as simple as you used to, but I'm still simple, right? Right, but I see it like this. But I've nothing against Philip, come on. And I take some of that stuff that you said on board, mate, that things haven't been perfect for him. And you take the start of the season. We talked about that Dynamo Kyiv game. It was at Hampden where there was a lack of atmosphere and the support hadn't bought into it right or wrong. And then the guy gets sent up for absolute nothing. He can't control all of that. None of that's in with his control. Yeah? So I've got sympathy in certain things. Yeah, but what I've got myself into thinking, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, people might say we can't afford to get rid of Philip, come on. But I don't know if the disenfranchise between the vast majority of support and him is now too much that we can't afford to keep him, Mickey. And then you go first, and then we'll bring Bridget.
Oh, listen, I accept that. If supporters start no going to Ibrox, that'll hurt the club financially. And they might well force changing by the way they're entitled to that. Who am I to say, no, you can't do that? A couple of weeks ago, supporters walked out and supporters run about them or booing them, which I thought was wrong. Stevie had his say on that because his boy obviously, but he's entitled to do that, as were the supporters that they'd rather back the club and support the club and what have you. But there does come a breaking point. Everybody's got one. I'm just concerned about the financial future of the club box. I really am. Where does this leave us? Can we afford to sack him?
I share the exact same concerns of you do, and I'll turn it on you. 180. Can we afford to keep him?
Well, that's a decision for the board members to make.
For a guy who aren't as simple as me and you.
Listen, you speak a lot of sense, mate. I can't argue with a lot of what you're saying, but we don't know what's going on behind the background. I think the club has lost direction, personally. I think us as supporters, and I've said this on this show many times, Ox, as you well know, domestic success for me as a supporter should be first and foremost the priority in the club, to win the league, to win the 2 cups. I think the board see it as Europe as the priority, and bringing money into the club. That's their priority. But see, when they're pissing money up against the wall and stupid contracts that they're paying out, they've squandered millions. They've put trust in the wrong people in the club. They've got the wrong mentality in the club there now, for boardroom all the way to on the park. The problem with me, when you go foreign as a manager, you go foreign as a director of football, you'll go foreign on the park with players, and that is a massive issue, because they players are probably, majority of them is going out there with the attitude to say, we're Rangers, they're a mid-table championship team, we'll just roll them out, and that's been a massive problem in our club for the last 10 years, at least.
Yeah, we've not had, I mean, obviously we were on our journey, we had some funny ones, but since we come back in the cup, we'll let ourselves doing arguably the latter stages, Bridge. You know, some games we should have won, finals we should have won. But this is different, mate. This is different. What's your take on it, Bridge? You're the best of three here. It's one each, and you've got the
Best
final
of three.
say before we open.
Don't
Open
put
the
that way
phone
on me.
line.
Oh, seriously. Listen, AK and Oxford and everybody else is listening. I honestly do not see a way out for the manager. I just don't see, for the life of me. I've been following Rangers since I was 12, you know, and it's just unbelievable. I'm 78 now, and I've never seen anything like it. It's the worst performance I've ever seen by Rangers. And I mean, it's so much worse than Berwick. So much. And not that I was at the Berwick game, may I say. Well, watching it on television or whatever I could see it on. It really, we know Rangers were poor.
Pathy News.
Pathy News. Yeah, but you know what I mean? It's just no right. This isn't right. We've been heading this way for quite a wee while. And I dare say, at the back of our minds, most of us have thought, this isn't right. You watch some poor games. You watch some playing quite well games, and we can't put the ball in the net. And that was a playing quite well game, but couldn't put the ball in the net. But with all the crap that's happened in between, when we were losing the ball so many times, not losing it to the tackles, because they tackled well, that team. But my God Almighty, we couldn't find a man. I can't go on.
Collectively, it was just so poor, Bridge. I think
really,
we all agree on that bit.
Well, can I ask a question of you two? Have we heard anything at all vis-a-vis the club or indeed the manager, other than the manager's
radio silence, mate. Radio silence.
Total silence. Oh my
radio
God!
Silence. I don't think they'd be prepared. They wouldn't have went along there yesterday thinking they were going to have to deal with this 40k, would they?
No, of course no. But I tell you, Ox, I don't know if your sources have informed you or no, but there was actually reports coming last night that our CEO actually went into Club 72 and actually addressed the shareholders or people that was in the bar at that time to say that gave them their kind of vision. I don't know why he just selected that, but they've been running about kind of the corporate lounges and that before. And he said that he's actually come on to basically gone nowhere. They're not going to reassess him at the end of this season. It's the following season when they're going to reassess his situations. But I don't know if there's truth in that or not.
Well, I think what they were doing is maybe they planned to go around and speak to the corporate lounges. That's my understanding, mate. And they were doing it at individual home games. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, so they would have maybe got to bar 72 yesterday. That would have been the plan. I mean, they'd have been all right with doing it before the game. I might have juked out after the game, if I'm being honest.
You're probably right. I tell you, it's just as well he didn't go to the Blue Sky Lounge in a couple of weeks ago. My dad when I got on him.
Just as well he never popped a link to Loudon to make his spiel. Right, we better get these phone lines opened, eh? Let's hear from these.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I've not got answers to this, AK. I've not got obvious answers. No, there's no an obvious fix or a quick fix. There's nobody staring you in the face that's going to fix it. But I don't know where we go, and I'll stick to my guns. Is nothing against Philip. Come on, but with the results, the way for them, the way the teams performed in certain games, because that was roughly bar the goalkeeper and the new centre half and young Rice. I think all the players started against Tottenham and with the Celtic game. They started the Celtic game pretty much.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
so, aye.
Aye.
You probably had a stronger team yesterday than you did taking the field down at Old Trafford. He's thrown on the boys and all that.
Maybe at times, aye, and we couldn't get it right, and we just the tempo was poor, and some of the performances were poor. And people have said the jersey's too big for some of them. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't see this ending well, and I think we've got to make the decision sooner rather than later. That doesn't guarantee any success with any change you make. Because you change the manager doesn't guarantee success. Anyway, talking about people who was always successful, we've been joined by old Davy. Evening, David.
Evening, guys.
Hi, Davy. How you doing?
Evening, Bridge.
Hi, David.
It's where do you start? I tell you, I don't think there's enough words in the dictionary to cover all this. Now, I remember I was 18 in 1967. And at that time, when we lost to Berwick Rangers, we've always been, that was a pub joke about reserves for years and years and years. And never ever thought in my lifetime till I go up to the Blue Heaven that I would ever witness anything like that. And that just took it to another level, guys. It was really, there's no words, but I would just like to say, I picked up on something you were talking about, and you were saying he's to blame, the coaching is to blame. Now, I don't know, I know we've talked about this guy continuously, the goalkeeping coach. But, how many goals have we lost our goalkeepers through their legs? Yeah. I mean, did they know? I mean, it's not accidental. It's shocking.
I'll pass you with my legs opened expert, HG.
See your window cleaner, Davy.
What do you want to deal with that one, Davy?
But Alec, you've got to, how many times has your goalkeepers lost at the near post through his legs?
At Old Trafford. Listen, I think, if I'm honest, the goal the boy had to went through his legs. I think Jeffrey's defending was appalling.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But that doesn't tell the story of the football match, does it?
No, but I just think it's just happening too much, and I don't know who's coaching them, but they might tell them to shut their legs.
EK, I'll leave that one with you.
I'm trying to laugh here, guys, but I'm telling you, I'm in Moreland. It's broke my heart, but it's broke my heart.
Definitely. No, listen, we're all hurting, Davy. We're all hurting. But Ox is right. Yefty's defending there. To go square on and make yourself that susceptible to just to, go by him. He shouldn't have been out. I think, who was it? Was it Alan Hutton that actually said that his body shape and everything, see for the guy ghosting in behind him at Man United, he says he needs to work on that, and then he's getting done like that. That's amateur stuff, But the finish, the boy taken it well. He ducked in by him and then put it under Kelly, but one shot at goal, one goal for them. We'd 15 corners. That's very a concern for me again. We seem to be getting aimlessly back in there. And I thought we'd actually turned a wee corner there for a game or two. We actually seemed to be scoring off the corners, but yesterday it was back to the same old. Just hopeful boys into the box and nothing really coming at them. So there's a lot to work on, and there's a lot yet indefensible. I'm not trying to defend them. I really am. I'm scuddered the same as everybody else.
Where are you in the big picture, Davy?
Sorry?
Where are you in the big picture?
Oh, well, if I could go up to the roof, I'd be jumping off it. But I'm lost for words, Oaks. I haven't a clue. It's just, nobody can explain that. Only that lot that went on the park can explain it. And we're talking about the team selection. I thought putting Barjami up there with Igaman, to me that was a disaster. That guy has not kicked a ball for months. And it's what Brad says. I would have whipped him off after about less than 20 minutes. Because he was going doing nothing. And you've got the guys on the bench. And I thought by the way, substitutions, taking Hadji off, all right, he was in for the rest, not having a good game. But bringing on a fullback and you're chasing the game, the substitutions were atrocious.
I agree. And that's what's giving me problems. It's not just, I've got sympathy, AK, with the circumstances and what he's had to deal with. I've got a lot of sympathy with that, yeah?
Aye.
But I've not got sympathy with some of the way he set his team up, particularly for him when we've surrounded the midfield and we've not won the midfield. And like yesterday, the substitutions. Now, he's got a lot wrong domestically against, if you like, rest of teams, but can get results against Benfica, Betis, Spurs, go away to Nice, Olympiacos, winning Malmo, Sweden for the first time in a competitive match. All these things, he's done all these things, which is remarkable when you look at the teams we can beat. It's just, it doesn't add up.
See the only comparison I could get to a wee bit, see the Man United manager, boy that's in there, Amarin, I think it is. He was the Braga manager and then went on to Sporting before he became the Man U manager. They play their 4-3-4-3, as you know, you've spoke about. But they base that on a lot of low possession and look to hit teams on the break. Man United have become unstuck a bit, the same as us, because we're not a low possession team. We're a 75% plus possession team, you know. And that is maybe the problem. When you compare the results to all the teams that your Real Betis, your Spurs, you know, that's the only explanation I could get. It doesn't make it right, and it's certainly the tactics is definitely in question, and it's definitely in question with him at Man United as well, because you need to have, you know, players on the ball that can create and do something different to produce a goal. Otherwise, you're going to come unstuck as much as what we are.
Aye, well, Bridge.
Well, you know, Davey said a couple of things there, and obviously the more people that say a couple of things, and you're adding a wee bit here and a wee bit there. Oxchair, we spoke last night, and we've just spoken for the best part of maybe 40 minutes there, and really and truly we're all saying a similar thing. The only one I think is a wee bit hesitant is AK. He hasn't pulled the trigger yet in his mind. Personally speaking, we have to, as a club, we have to pull the trigger, no matter what happens, because this is not getting better. It's not going to get better. We're going to plod along. Maybe we win 4 or 5 games in a row, and then all of a sudden, this ghost that's sitting in our club is going to come back and haunt us. And it might haunt us in Europe, which I don't want, obviously. I want to be able to go through Europe and come back with some cash for the club and keep the club going. But seriously, the fans are not happy. They're really, really unhappy, Oxtair. And you probably know that too, because you've never been in this kind of situation, but you know how it is when we lose badly like that. I mean, when I say badly, it's 1-0, and they'd one shot at goal and we let it in. You know, and we were just very, very bad. We can't afford to do that again. We just cannot afford to do that again. It's so embarrassing for the club. It's so embarrassing for the club, and I can't. It really hurts me when I say my club's terrible. It's really bad. That's all I can say. I'm very emotional, very emotional.
Davey, where do you stand in the big picture? What would you do?
What I would do, I'd buy Rangers and get rid of a lot of them. But no, I know you. No, but it's just one of these scenarios. That there's no. He was always shouting about there's no an easy fix, and I've been saying for season after season until we can unlock 2 blocks of 5 at Ibrox. That's where all this is where it all, we've been lucky a few times, scraped results. But this was just, I wouldn't say this was on the cards, but I mean, this is just a total disaster. But if we can't get a manager who can't break down 2 blocks of 5, or even look like breaking down 2 blocks of 5. But yesterday just took garbage to another level for me, just another level. And I don't know the answer.
What would Davey do?
Now you're pushing your luck now, Aldrin.
Come on,
no, honest talks, I haven't a clue. I know I wouldn't play. There's a lot of players there I wouldn't play for a start. But that we've got what we've got, and we've got to use them. But where do we go? I haven't a clue.
All right.
I don't think he has either.
Is that you answered the question then? You don't think the
Well,
manager...
I mean, as far as the result goes, I've been sticking by him umpteen times.
I get that.
But no. For the sake of the support, if it's a financial problem, we've got to put up with it. If it's not, if it's available, we've got availability to move them on. You can't get beat with Queen's Park at Ibrox Park in a cup final. In that round of the cup. No, you can't. That's just inexcusable.
Yeah, listen, everybody's going to see it slightly different. I think, there'll be people that are made mind a year ago, not quite a year ago, but maybe 10 months ago, people have maybe had their issues, and then maybe at the first couple of months of the season, I get all the circumstances. Yeah, I really do. I get the fact that he's lowered the wage bill, brought some guys, you wouldn't have known it yesterday, but brought some guys who might have some value potentially. But I understand all that. I understand what he's trying to do, but you've got to win games of football against teams that sometimes we'll have 3 subs that will be paying more than the rest of the first team wages against the team we're playing. So we talked about Man United being shortchanged when we went down there and we watched them. The comparison is similar yesterday, and we blew it. I think he's ran out of excuses. I really do.
Oh, can I ask you a question?
Yes, mate.
We've talked about it quite a lot of times. We're playing well in Europe, all right? We play well in Europe. We've had great results. We've finished up in a great position. Why is that happening? And it's not happening here. And this is my interpretation of it. We got a chance to play in that competition. It's wide open a bit. You don't get that at Ibrox. It's 2 banks of 5. And until we can break that down, we're going to still be there trying to break down 2 banks of 5.
Well, I'll give you my answer on it and then go to AK, yeah?
Yeah.
My answer's simple. I know there were open games of football, but if we play at the same tempo we did against them at New Year and against, say, Spurs at home, that team don't live with you and the game's done in 20 minutes. But we never. AK.
Yeah, but honest, they're not playing 2. Celtic and them and all, they're not playing 2 banks of 5.
But we would be getting the ball, moving it quick, running at pace, moving into space, working hard. Yeah, we never done any of that yesterday. In the first game, it was like watching a glorified training session. AK.
I'm with you there, Ox. I'm with you there. You can't deny that. It's attitude and application of the players that's on the park. I mean, Clement can give them instructions and what have you, and give them advice and, you know, contributing factors that can get us up the park and, you know, expose any weaknesses that they've so-called got. But if it comes to the responsibility of the players on the park, the drive, the intensity, everything is about them. You can always look at the manager and, you know, and pinpoint to him, but when does the player responsibility come into question? When does the leadership, our captain, come into question? You know, Raskin was the captain there for a few weeks while Tavernier was out the team. He showed more in the games as captain, intensity and personality and character than what Tavernier's done for basically a decade.
Yeah, different kinds of character. I mean, James Tavernier will carry a lot of the can yesterday because of the circumstances of the game. I didn't think he had a good game yesterday neither, along with 13 or 14 others, if I'm honest. Bridgeman.
Well, if you talk about that Tavernier, if you think Tavernier's your captain, and we've been through it, I don't want him as my captain. If you follow, I mean, a lot of guys feel like that, but similar to myself. But last night he was, excuse me, invisible. Huge chunks of the game he was invisible. Didn't know what to do. Even when he got the ball, some of his passing trying to cross in pretty poor. And the thing that would have, shall we say, made his day is a penalty. And he's always very good at penalties, nearly always anyway. And what does he do? He makes that goalkeeper look like a real star. And that's the truth. A terrible, terrible penalty take. I don't know what is going through his mind other than I think he's depressed and might have been the wrong person to take a penalty. But seriously, he is our penalty taker and we're nearly always happy with it. But that the world is on his shoulders there. And you've got to feel sorry for him to a certain extent. But with the way he's been playing, the way he played last night anyway, oh God, come on, Oxtear. I'm sure that you play our games in the shipyards, and for God Almighty's sake, you get better players doing it. But even worse players than Tab taking a better penalty than that in the shipyards. It was this whole thing. It was just crazy. The
Only
whole
a good penalty when you score, Bridge, isn't it?
Oh, what can I say?
Doesn't
Put the ball in the net. It's all you need to do. Put the ball in the net.
Only a good penalty when you score. Yeah, listen. I was speaking to somebody today, and I said the guys that might carry the can, but this might be Bailey Rice, bizarrely, and Tavernier. You know, and listen, Tab missed the penalty and wasn't great. Bailey was pretty non-existent, and the game passed him by. But the front four, Cherny, Hadji, Barjami, and Igaman, and then throw on Dessers to that in the second half, mate. They were atrocious, man. Absolutely atrocious to a man.
Listen, I don't think Bailey Rice should be getting much of the blame myself, to be honest. I heard you yesterday. I think to put any sort of blame on an 18-year-old boy, I think that's the reason why you put Ridvan on instead of young Curtis. You know, because that would have been the natural replacement to put him out there, but he didn't want to.
How could you not put on an internationalist? Whether you like him or not, what's the point of young Ross McCausland?
Could have done.
It was nothing each at the time. We still needed a goal to win the game.
I know. It said a lot for me that it was when Hadji went off, it looked as if that he wasn't playing under instruction sort of thing. Come on, it might be a wee bit of a personality clash here with the way he hold off Cantwell when he wasn't doing what he was. But Hadji's been one who have missed influential players going forward. He could have changed things tactically to maybe bring Hadji into the centre and take off Rami because it was. But anyway, we're picking holes in it, but there's a big gaping hole in the whole performance yesterday and result. And whether the board pulled the trigger or no, I couldn't I've got no actual affiliation to come on, but I'm just really concerned about where that leaves us financially next year. That's my only concerns about the whole thing.
My concern's even bigger if we don't pull the trigger, AK, because the franchising, the people going to the show, the people going to the boys' ground, the people going to hospitality for the rest of the season. We're not in the we could have had a quarter-final home draw tonight against anybody. It could have been against them or Hearts or Aberdeen at Ibrox, and big games, decent size, big crowd, sellouts. Then hopefully you're in the semi-final, or that revenue, or that's lost. And then the defranchised Davy that we're talking about, you're not selling the same merchandise, you're not getting the same interest, and then you're then asking people to go to the well again for the season tickets when they're feeling defranchised. It's not a good scenario, and that's one of the reasons I'm a complete polar opposite for you there, AK. I don't think we might not be able to afford to get rid of him, but I even think it's worse if we keep him, mate. It's only my view.
Can I briefly answer you then?
Yeah, of course.
£17 million losses we announced at the last AGM, that correct? Yeah.
Aye.
Right. Well, see, I think I heard say that Patrick Stewart announced that we had 13 million that have actually took off of the wage bill. Now, say if we DSAT come on and it's going to cost us 13 million, does that not put us in the financial fair play predicament again then with UEFA, and we could have embargoes against us transfer wise?
You'll not pay all that. You'll not pay all that in one hit, mate. And
but we're already paying out for Beale and Gio. If we come on, and then we're thinking another manager, we're paying out for 4 managers.
I think you might find that the Gio one's away, mate.
Right. Well, it would be the 3 managers we're paying out for. It's just a crazy scenario. And we keep
maybe the mistake is when we're getting out the length of contracts we're getting out for managers. Maybe 2 years be a 1 year's option, yeah.
Yep, same as players. We're getting out big contracts for them as well.
Maybe, No, listen, I get your point. It's not a good fit either way financially. I'm just the polar opposite for your good self. Davey?
I'm on with you, so yeah, and Alex got a good point as well, but you summed it up properly. I think more the financial side of it, the way you're going to get repercussions are going to come for us. And which I heard Bridge saying the other night there after the game about what happens if we lose against Hearts. I mean, this is all going to come and build up. But the people, you'll get the young guys, the real Rangers players will know, but the guys that are just sick to the teeth of this, they'll get up for a while. And that's the worrying thing. If you're not getting the money in through the commercial side of it and all other things, and I think what could happen as well is the crowds could drop too, just because that's just a sickener. That is the total.
All right, I'll cut across you, Davey. I think we've been joined by a caller called James. Evening, James. Evening, James.
Hi, mate. How are we?
Yeah, a couple of days. How are you doing? What's on your mind?
Listen, mate, see, under Clermont, we've gone backwards. I mean, we really have, mate. I mean, he's been here, a year and a bit now. And, you know what I mean, mate? I hate to say it, but we're actually like a Hibs or a Hearts or the sheep. You know what I mean? Honestly, mate, but see, yesterday was, I cut it with the wood. You know what I mean? I felt absolutely, I just felt absolutely bloody just distraught. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Chip. I don't think you were alone. AK, cheer him up. Tell him a joke.
Evening, James. Listen, we empathise with you. We all do. We're all gutted. We bleed blue, and when we get a performance and a result like that, it's just unacceptable. We know it is, that there are mitigating circumstances there. That it's been years and years and years of mismanagement. Clement has had to regress the squad. He's had to downgrade the squad. So he's downgraded the quality of the squad. And that's how you get performances and results like this. It's not excusable at all. I'm not excusing him or the players at all, but I'm just giving you my reasons why I think you throw in performances like that. I mean, we're still paying our squad. I'm kind of guessing, Ox, but I'd say in the region about 25 million to 30 million. You know, and you're getting performances and results that we have been doing domestically this season. It just underlines how unacceptable it is.
Yeah, listen, they're trying. Some of the signings will be hits, some will always be misses. That's signings, you know, and some go on and make it, and some don't, you know, and you have to keep getting rid of people. But I don't think there's anything that excuses that, AK. I really don't. I don't think there's. I get the whole. You could argue about all the mistakes. We can go back and we can crisscross and say we still went left and we went right, and we could agree and some disagree and others. I don't think it doesn't matter how much crisscross you do. You can't. There's no defending that yesterday for the players and the coaching staff. And I think the board of directors have now we're at a big crossroads. James and then Bridgman. And you come, James.
I totally agree with you, Ox. I mean, there isn't any excuse for that. I mean, honestly, Queen's Park. I think they've only won 2 of the last 8 games or something as well. So it's not as if they're playing great football themselves or with confidence. It's depressing. I mean, it's not you look forward. Well, you won the league, but I think when you start playing every game on a Saturday night, that's when the time we seem to kind of show up. You know what I mean?
I did that tongue in cheek, but you might be right there.
But no, it's just depressing. We should be winning cups, not getting beaten 4-4 matches.
Listen, I don't mind us. I don't mind us losing the games of football.
Exactly,
we've lost the certain games and we've went away from home and we've lost cup ties with good teams against or teams away from home. Dundee back in the day, Dundee in the 80s had a couple of years knocked us out the cup. We'll be knocked out away from Dunfermline under Souness's team. Yeah, it's happened, but that's a different level. And I think the thing that's galling me is it's just the total lack of urgency, the total lack of the insult to the other team. Just think you just had to turn up. Maybe that's maybe I've been a bit strong, Bridgman, but that's the way I've seen it.
You were a bit strong, of course. I mean, what can we say? It's just the whole thing's mental. You know, you think, look at the starting team, and you think, well, what are they going to be like? Because they've never played before, you know. So they actually look good for a wee while.
But that starting front line was the same starting front line that started against Celtic, mate. The forward 4 players in the league.
No, okay, but if you look at the whole team, the defence wasn't the same team that we had. So
there was one change in the back 5 as against Celtic, mate.
I'm not just. All I'm saying is that the young lad that played from the start of the game never put a foot wrong. I don't think there was anything wrong with him. He ran out of legs and they took him off. Simple as that. However, combine him with the rest of the team, and he was one of the better players. The rest of them were minging. The midfield, not there at all. Diamonde, Hadji, will we go through them? No, maybe better no.
No. Listen, we've reached that time of the evening. Get yourself on mute and we'll come right back to James because we're going to have a tune.
Now there's a pub come down here and together we'll have a jar. A welcome there you will receive, so good that you won't want to leave. A fine wee pub is Saltcoats Mermaid Bar. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. We all support the Queen and Crown. The prices here are the best in town, and the bar staff, they are one terrific crew. Everyone laughing, full of cheer. It's one tremendous atmosphere, singing to support the red, white and blue. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. It's nice to come to the Mermaid Bar when Rangers are playing at Ibrox Park. You'll forget your worries and all your cares, singing songs against the Thames before you watch the Rangers win. For everyone here supports the Teddy Bears. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. If you are up from Belfast town, Tyrone, Fermanagh or County Down, Armagh, Antrim or London, Derry shores, the Mermaid is the place for you, so come and have a drink or two. Next time in Saltcoats you'll want to come back for more. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. You'll hear the sash, and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
No, okay, you're entitled. Just going back to something that was posted there, mate. Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion. It's only hindsight lets us all know about opinions, is right or wrong, mate. Yeah.
Aye, well, listen, Ox, that's what this platform's great for, mate. It's your opinion at the end of the day. If you disagree with me, fine. No need for derogatory comments, whatever. But come on, debate it, Wes. Do it in a reasonable manner. It's your opinion. It's my opinion.
You know, you must know when you're wrong when you go the opposite of me, because I'm never wrong.
Was it no 84 they said you were one time wrong?
I think in hindsight, when I look back at that, I think I was half right.
You take that back then?
No, mate. Listen, it's difficult. We've got ourselves in some mess, and by the way, some of the decisions were made when you look back. We ought to be supported them, but they come back and bite you, you know. And if it was a unique business, and you need to get, there's a lot of luck with your recruitment, you know, injuries, bang.
Yeah.
What kind of personnel do you have in the door? What kind of character there? and then you turn it into form. How they gel as a team. It's very, 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 very unique. And as you go back to our good friend the Albert, he's always said that Clement will no benefit from the good work he's doing in changing things. It'll be somebody else who'll benefit. And I'm sure it's for much as he's wanted them to carry on with the project. Haven't spoken to him today. His views have been tempered slightly. He might still see a different picture, but everybody sees things slightly different, and so they should, James. Yeah, but where are you in the big picture? Would you hire or fire, mate? What would you do?
You'd be right to say anybody lose a job, but this is a results kind of driven business. You know what I mean? I was listening to his earlier on saying that his position will be reviewed in no the end of this year, but this season, but next season. I mean, 90% of the Rangers support don't want him there. The bargaining for I don't go now, but I used to go. I used to have a season ticket. The bargaining for a season ticket money shortly as well for next season, and if that man's still there, and 90% of the crowd, 90% of the support don't want him. I mean, we do a lot of cases as a result of the club, but you know what I mean. Yeah,
I do, mate. I get your point, and that's similar to the point I'm making. AK, I get your point. The economics in an ideal world, you wouldn't. You know, you would want the manager to stay, and you let him build, and you let him see his contract. You maybe don't give him another extension, right enough. But ideally, you'd like that to run it, or if he gets results, somebody comes in and takes him, moves on, and you move on naturally. But again, I'll go back to my point. We've reached a crossroads and we've got a big decision to make.
Can I come in on that?
Yes.
Sorry, Bud, sorry. I just want to say the only thing, and this is only a wee teeny weeny thing in my mind, the only thing that he's got going for him is his record in Europe is absolutely superb, given the situation that the club's in. He has done well. He's got the players up. They went and done it. He seems to know what he wants to do in Europe. So that might carry him forward. The board might say, we can't get rid of him now. Let's get to the end of this season or get to the end of this tournament till we see where we fit. My feeling at the moment is we're going to go out in Europe. We're going to get an absolute doing based on the way we played last night, you know. But who knows? Who knows?
Is that good form in Europe actually costing these frustrations with the away performances and that result yesterday? Is that magnifying it? Is that making us feel worse?
It probably is, Ox. It probably is. I mean, I've said it for a wee while, actually. Is Europe a priority for the directors now? And we're actually discarding domestic competitions because, I mean, you've seen Gerrard's results in Europe. You know, it was fantastic. It gave us, you know, a bit of pride back, the name of the club, Rangers across Europe again after the progress result under Caixinha. But our domestic results were atrocious. I mean, remember, go to St Mirren, getting beat. We get beat with Aberdeen a couple of times. I'm sure Hearts beat us as well. You know, it just wasn't good enough. So it seemed to me as if the players that we were signing were up for the big game. You know, under the likes of Ibrox out in Europe on the big stage. But when it came to the bread and butter games, i.e. yesterday, we come unstuck. So it's been a mentality in the club for a few years now, you know. But if we sack Clement, who do we get in? Who is the answer then?
That's a big question, mate, and that's a whole show on its own, mate. But it's a valid question, mate. A real valid question. David?
It's a great point, Alec. And the thing is, I'm worried about what Alec was saying. I heard this as well on social media and different podcasts about the getting into the hospitality and saying that we were going to keep him to the end of the season and give him another season. That, to me, just sends up the rockets. Just that. I think it's going to come. It's going to come now. Every game, apart from Europe, which roughly, if we could get any further, it'll be a bonus ball. But to be realistic, you see we can't beat Queen's Park. I don't know what Europe's going to happen. But if you're going to do anything like that, like move the manager on, do it now and give whoever comes in a chance with the team that he's got there. Because if he gets that time and he just gets the same finances for the same they go this year as next year and the following year, we're going nowhere.
Anyway, we've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Hi, good evening, lads. How are we all tonight?
Right, but the rest
That's no so bad. I dare say we're in a good conversation about yesterday. I don't know where to begin. I'm going to run about with my chin on my chest today. I don't know what's... Again, it was just like I was yesterday. I don't know where the hell to begin with it all. It's an utter shambles. I hear them all saying, the most incredible result in Scottish football's history. Aye, they all forget about Roy Keane's introduction to Scottish football. Never mind, that's just a memory. That's what we do at Counts, and that's... I don't know where to begin, lads. I really don't. I've been that bemused with it all. Shocked, surprised, disappointed, all in the one. I don't know where to go for here. So much indecision.
All the emotions must take you back to your courting days, Bob Jerry.
Hey, I'm not going to start on about that. You've all got a few jokes later on, I can assure you. I'm not at the moment. I'm not in the mood for jokes at the moment.
Sorry,
you lot laughing. I love hearing you lot laughing. And we'll do it again sometime. But at the moment, that yesterday was too much for me. Too much for me. I even had to raise the blood pressure tablets last night.
Listen, Bob, don't be fooled with a public persona. Those who know me different. Bridgeman.
Oh, goodness, like, my heart says one thing, my head says another, and I don't know what the rest of my body's thinking. I'm absolutely knackered with it, seriously knackered with it. It really is. It's going to pull all the strings within all of us good Rangers fans. We're all going to pull ourselves this way, that way, and the next way. We don't know if the club can afford to lose him or to let him go. But we don't know. It's the old question. Is it going to be as difficult to keep him as it is to let him go? Personally, I can only speak for myself, and I dare say a lot of other folk have got it. We have to let him go simply because we can't afford to keep him. And that's my honest opinion. However, I'm not stupid. I've been watching Rangers for a many a long year. I've been through all the terrible things that's happened to our club. I don't want to go back to them. But my God, this feels like it. Today, it feels like we're back in the really bad days that we had just in 2012. And I'm not being funny when I say that, so forgive me, guys. That's what I feel. It's like something's getting old. Myself and many thousands of guys stood in queues for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours to get our season tickets after we came back for the when we're going into the 4th division or whatever it was we were in. Seriously, that was hell for everybody. We were so happy when we got our season ticket. I don't know why, but we were, and that's what I feel like now. I don't want my club to be in any trouble, any more problems. You've heard me saying this on this station for years and years and years. I just don't want my club to be skint completely, and we end up with nothing, and we could end up losing the whole thing again. We don't want to be in that position, and if we have to get rid of this manager and it's going to cost us that, then we have to keep him. As simple as that. Don't put ourselves in. Sorry, pal.
I'm going to get on the panel, and this is a one-word answer. Yeah, one-word answer: stay or go. That's all you're getting. No ifs, buts, or maybes. Yeah? Stay or go. James?
Go.
Bridge?
He's got to go.
Davy?
He's gone.
Bob Jer?
Got to go.
AK?
Stay.
You're a brave man, AK. I think that'll be the split in the support, mate. I think that's how it's moved, mate. I think that'll be about it. Yeah.
Aye.
See the question you asked there, right? It's got a couple of answers to it. Because the way you could answer that is 2 or 3 ways. At the moment, it's go. Financially, it's probably stay. So it's a catch-22 situation.
I disagree with you, David. I think
I
one
think
of the
it's
problems
fine.
is
You always do.
no, I genuinely do, and I said it to
No,
EK earlier on. I get the finance. I don't think we can afford to keep them. I think the disconnect has became after yesterday.
Yeah,
There was a split, but I think it's a chasm now. I think it's a chasm. It's hard to see where we're going to go, and we've had a bad result every month since March last year. That's a whole year now. That's 12, apart from the summer. Yes, mate.
Can I just say that the reason why I'm saying that is obviously it's financially dictated. It's no on results. It's not. As I said before, I couldn't give a monkeys about Clement as our manager, but I do want them to be successful for us as a support. See the fact that we couldn't afford to go and get Lyle Cameron there, and to pay what £300,000-400,000 to Dundee. They're not going to sack him for £12 million compensation.
Where's the £12 million coming from?
Well, his contract, they would have to pay it out, wouldn't they?
You don't know what's in the small print. If there's when managers' contracts are complicated, mate, there might be 1 year severance pay. Yeah, but
can also say to you then, see every time where the media have come on up as a presser and they're talking about the transfer fees, and he says, oh, you'll need to ask Patrick about that. Well, why is Patrick Stewart not getting up there and grilled the way Clement was last night when they're asking him about his position as manager of the football club? The silence is deafening. It's about time they guys were grilled exactly why they're keeping Clement and tell us the reason why, because keeping the support in the dark is causing a lot of this animosity towards our manager, towards our board, and the direction the club's going in.
I think there's only one thing that causes all the animosity towards the manager. That's results, Davey.
That's a hard one to try and resolve, but I think realistically, it's hard to split it, because definitely it's got a lot to do with the money. I know you don't think that, Oxen.
I do. I think
yeah,
100%.
So if it was going to, I think what they need to do is, once the dust settles a wee bit, they need to come out and get a bit of clarity and explain themselves. And I'll tell you one thing, they should all get a week's wages taken off them and put it into the Rangers fund, because that's one way of showing them that this is not going to happen again.
I think the days have gone, Davey. Financially, you can't hurt these
I know. That's just how I feel. That's just
I know. It's like trying to take your sweeties off of you, mate.
You touch my Maltesers, boy.
Three Maltesers.
I love it.
Have you finished on the Maltesers I gave you?
Oh, I've got some under my bed.
Go yourself. Brilliant.
You've got. Always remember, Bridgeman. Always remember, we never surrender, and you know that. You're like me. You're one of the old troops. But I felt yesterday, I must have to say, I think we did surrender yesterday, and that's what's hurting me.
Well, I don't know if we surrendered. I have to say it. I don't know. I don't want to take everything away from the team. At the end there, just everything they did just turned to smoke. That's all it did. They were like puff. They run out of puff. I don't want. Honestly, God, I can't feel the way I want to feel because that's a horrible memory. So I'll be pleased when this evening's over. Please forgive me. I don't mean I don't want to be in your company, but I'll be pleased when this evening's over. And I'm sorry. I don't mean it like that. I just don't want to be able to. Tomorrow, I don't want to speak about it again. In my mind. So forgive me. Of course, I'm going to be following my team whenever I can. And this club we have got to keep this club going. However we do it, by hook or by crook, we've got to do it. And it's only the fans that can do it in reality. Unless we can get some multi-billionaire that's going to walk in and say, right, yeah, what do you need? You know, and that may not be able to be done for 3, 4, 5 years, if ever. But I would love it to be able to get a big company to back us, Emirates or something. Something like that, you know. Just come in and we get no fears, no worries about money, and away we go. It might take a wee while to get there, but no, seriously, my heart's broken with him. I don't think I'm going to recover for this for quite a long time now. That just nearly killed me last night.
Fridge, man, I've got bigger financial problems than that. I've not paid my window cleaner for 4 weeks.
Is that right? Has he done your windies, but?
Is she hell?
No, has he not done them? Because you'll not pay.
It's a woman.
Oh, she's not. All right, okay. Why do you want to pay a woman for your windies?
Because she's eating all my Maltesers.
Oh. I love it, by the way. Love it.
Right.
Oh, boy.
Let's get back to some serious stuff here. Me and Alec are having some serious debate in the radio. A couple of schools, right?
I know
that. But listen, I get all the emotions, I understand all the emotions, and I accept the argument about finances. I just see it slightly different. I just think there was a crack, AK, and you only had to look at the gates the last few weeks, mate. The place is maybe at 15,000 empty seats. Yeah. And I just see that chasm growing.
Aye. Listen, that as a supporter, it's no acceptable. The amount of trophies that we've won, I've stated it before, it's no acceptable at any level. But finances are dictating a lot of who's winning what across Europe, because UEFA's allowed a monopoly to develop for Champions League money that filters down to the clubs. And it's they clubs, it's no surprise that they clubs are dominating domestically their own leagues. So this has been ongoing for, well, Champions League, what was that, 92 when it was enforced?
You know, so it was, didn't you?
Aye, I know, aye. One of yours. But the 10 years, basically Celtic having a free run at it has allowed them, you know, to build up their bank account to afford a certain quality player that we just can't afford. So we're having to start from scratch all over again, and we're just keeping going round in circles. The money and the reputation that we built up under Gerrard, under Gio, has been evaporated the last couple of years under Bill. Under Clement in Europe, no, but domestically, it's still not good enough. But it's down to the level and the quality player that we're bringing in, and obviously the Scottish influence is a big thing, and we've not had that in our dressing room for long enough. Jimmy Bell is still a big miss in that dressing room. We can't understate that enough.
Well, if Jimmy Bell was such an influence, we only won one league title since when Gerrard came in the door, mate. As much as we miss Jimmy the character, I think it's good to have people like him about the place, and we adored the man, and he got a real tremendous send-off. when they unfortunately passed away a bit too young. But listen,
Yeah.
Jimmy wouldn't have put the ball in the net yesterday. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're right, but
Oh.
he drove the standard a wee bit. I'm more so going back to, like, see, even under Advocate, when with the influx of foreigners, I mean, Gio and Nacho and George Alberts and Amaruso, all the guys, you know, they didn't know about the history and the heritage of the club, the culture of the club. But Jimmy made sure they did, and if they didn't get a good result, he would let them know. We've lost that over the years. We've lost our identity over the years, and that performance is a big factor in no having the type of players out there in the park that knows what it means to wear our jersey, and we've lost that, and we need to get it back. I don't know how we get it back. Go back Scottish, go back British. That would probably help, but there's no guarantee it'll cure it.
No,
So I'll ask again, what's
No.
the answer? If we do sack Clement, who's the answer then? Where do we go?
I've not even thought about that, if I'm honest. I haven't even thought about that. Yeah. No, but it's going to be interesting. And Mr. Fox, who's a wise man, he was saying, "Oh, it's going to be a struggle. After Monday night, we'll have a lot to talk about on the show because till we get to the back end of the week, because it's going to be a quiet week with that cup tie. Shows you how much we all know, innit? You know, James, the manager always carry the can, but it can also, some of the players' performances yesterday, they deserve every bit of criticism they're going to get as well.
I mean, see, if I was on that pitch yesterday, I'd come off ashamed if I could beat. I mean, why do we do this? Why do we put in these performances every now and again? I mean, we come back to what AK says, I mean, about Europe. After we beat Braga, actually beat them 1-0 in Portugal, we come back and we could beat in the Scottish Cup again by Hearts. And I mean, see that game that we lost then? I could have felt yesterday. See, when Gerrard lost that game and we all thought that Gerrard might actually quit because he was so disappointed, that's the way I felt yesterday. And actually, I've been feeling for the past couple of months. I mean, you get a wee bit of confidence, 3-4 games undefeated, and then all of a sudden you throw in this performance. I mean, and I should say this every month for what to lose a game. I mean, they're away for them. I mean, just this kind of like, or we might play well in the first half, and the second half we drop off like it was against the last game, St Johnston. It's that kind of, I thought kind of, just, I don't know, it just seems to be like two steps forward and one back all the time. It's no two forward and another two forward.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that performance against Celtic, we actually hammered them 3-0. Maybe that intensity yesterday. And this was the only cup we could have realistically won. I mean, Europe is great, but as Big Man says, I mean, we would get scalped the next time we play in Europe. And we had a well in Europe this time. I mean, Gerrard started it, and then Gio took us to a final, and then within the last 16. I mean, it's great for the finance and the kind of prestige, but the league, bread and butter. I mean, we just can't. I mean, be injuries as well. I know there's a lot of injuries, and just can't seem to get a break at the moment. I mean, with the wobbed at the League Cup final in December there, and denied a penalty at least, and it's just one thing after the next. I mean, and yesterday just kind of, it's gonna see it's really done.
I get it, mate. I get it. Scunnered, a good old-fashioned word.
Yeah.
Folks, I'll need to go.
All right, it's a bit late for
okay.
her, isn't it?
No, thanks very much for taking my call, and all you guys stay safe, and remember, we are a people. Good night.
Cheers, Davey boy. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Davey.
Hey, Davey.
Bob Jer, you're a studier of the game, a guy who, you look at the game. This usually only ends up one way when this chasm's so big at any club, doesn't it? The manager
Can
carries
you
the
repeat
can.
that?
Sorry, this usually only
Every,
ends up one way.
every manager carries the can, Ox. We're no any
Right.
different.
Rightly or wrongly, even the players always bizarrely seem to get away scot-free, don't they?
See me get what? Sorry.
The players seem to get away scot-free usually, don't they?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, to state the obvious, they're the people that's playing the game. Manager's not going to have that white line. He can only motivate them. And if he's lost the dressing room and all these cliches that we keep coming away with, well, the man's got to go. Finances will need to be sorted out for the good of the club. I'll tell you something. I don't care how the rest of you feel. I'll put it to you. Does any of you feel for the existence of your club at the moment?
No.
There's a big statement. No.
I do.
I know you do, but I was listening to you.
I do as well, Bob.
No, I don't.
Well,
I would like to think we've got an assistant.
I was just saying in recent years, anything's possible. I mean, finance goes, especially the spirit goes at in this day and age.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
recruitment and moving players on, this is the other thing. But some of this might exasperate moving players on that you might want to keep for another year. It changes your plans. Listen, I'm surprised there's not been more noise at the club about. We might hear some tomorrow because I think this snowball's just going to build and build and build. And I don't know if you batten down the hatches or you make a statement. I don't know what you do for the best, AK. I really don't.
For the best, I think the support would like to know what the plans are for the future. I mean, Patrick Stewart came out there when there was a debate about Clement's future, and he came out and, he gave a kind of a statement to say, aye, we're backing him, but he didn't give the reasons why. What's the strategy? What are we looking for? What was his remit? Why did he alter his contract at the start of the season or the year extension or whatever it was? But we're kept in the dark and we need to know. And until we don't know these things, what is his remit? Why are we keeping him? What is our financial situation? What about the injuries? What is the strategy ahead? Where do we go? What is the future? Because we can't keep going on like this. I mean, I empathise with everybody that's feeling the hurt. We all hurt. We're all Rangers supporters. We want success for our club. But I wouldn't like to risk the future of the club for short-term fix. You know what I mean? But it's been going on far too long. And that's where the support is really getting paid off about the whole situation. The lack of success, we can deal with to an extent, but where are we going? Because results like yesterday is just,
If you're trying,
it's just adding to a history that we don't need.
if you want to please the support, yeah, and if you're business space, if you want to please the support, Philip Clement would have been sacked last night, AK, because that would have pleased the vast majority of support, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. But what's the financial implications for that? And is it possible? I mean, Fox has put a wee question there in the chat. Is there maybe is there maybe a new investment, new owners coming in, and this is what we're guiding towards it, just to get us through to the end of the season before they take over? Is that a possibility? Nobody knows, because Dave King didn't go to the AGM even to question, the directors, the shareholders, and he wanted his AGM. He didn't even appear at the AGM to question him himself. Why? And there are a lot of questions there, more questions than answers, and I think that's a lot to do with the anger of support.
I think you're reading too much into all of that.
In what way?
I mean, Dave King was sunning himself in South Africa. Couldn't become bothered coming up for the December AGM because it was too cold.
Well, you're trivialising it then a wee bit,
Aye, exactly.
Because he's quick enough.
As soon as he didn't get his EGM, he knew that he didn't have that card to play, mate.
Aye, but he
Because
could
they
openly
did votes.
question. He could openly question the shareholders at the AGM, though, whereas they weren't again on that platform at the EGM.
Yeah, but they don't. The thing about the AGM is they don't need to give him the mic. That's
But
the
it's a
thing.
major shareholder.
He's not the major shareholder, isn't he? He's got the most shares.
Well, majority shareholder.
No, he's not a majority shareholder. He's got the most shares. I think about 15% he owns, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he owns the most shares, and another 85% out there, isn't there?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
mere questions and answers.
Yeah, but I mean that will not take away. But if you want to please the support, if you want to please them this now, right or wrongly, finances, you're right, I'm wrong, you're right. At this moment in time, to please the support, we sack Philip Clement.
I accept that. That does
Yeah,
satisfy the majority support, but
Yeah.
where does that leave us? And who do we bring in?
That's a whole different question. That's a whole different question, Bridgeman, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it. Like, me, I think you know exactly what I'm like, Oxshare. I'll see the telly, and the last week or so I've seen my favourite Rangers manager, because he's a star, Gerrard. I see that he's looking for a club or a club's looking for him, and this guy caused this bloop at the weekend there, and I'm thinking, in my mind, I'm running wild. I'm thinking, well, we should maybe just get rid of this guy and bring in Gerrard. Straight swap. He's available. Will he want to come play for us, our managers? I think he would, if given the choice. But I don't think we'll get the money, the big series bucks. So he must be told straight away, you're not going to get all that money, and you're not going to get these long contracts. So this is going to be a romance for you. Come and do it. That's my thoughts. But we can't afford them. We can't. By the sound of things and listening to you tonight, it sounds as if we can't afford to get rid of the man that's there now. But I would drop. But the day before tomorrow, I would let him go. I would let him go, as long as it's not going to kill us financially. But I'd let him go because he's going to cost us money. Unless he wins the Europa League, right? And seriously, guys, unless he can take us to the next level in the Europa League and get us an absolute fortune, then you think to yourself, oh, it was only one game then, because that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Well, it's only one game. He gets to the quarterfinals or something like that. My goodness gracious. It'd be great for the club, great for the fans. After this horror show the other day, I don't think we're going to get there.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be interesting. These sticker twists, do you fire? What do you do? It's only that I'll go myself for I think the word you used was a messy, Ken. I think you're right. And it's only going to be hindsight because whatever way you turn it, there's going to be some pain involved in it.
Mm-hmm. Aye, of course. Years and years of mismanagement. Ox. No enough scrutiny for me was levelled at where the direction of the club was going when Robertson, Park, Bennett, Bisgrove, Michael Beale. What was the thinking behind all these sort of moves? What was the thinking on recruitment? When Gerrard, you remember the statement after picking up the trophy, and he's talking to Walter, Souness, McCoy, Boyd, fix the roof while it's signing. I've had meetings with the board and they promised me, and then, well, 6 months later he's away, and then Gio's the same, gets us a European final, gets us qualifying for the Champions League. He said that he needed reinforcements, he didn't get them, and then 6-8 months later he's away, and then we've got Michael Beale. It's just been one disaster after another. And is Clement the answer long term? No, I agree with Albert. I think he's been given the remit. He's trying to rebuild it for as cheap as possible to downgrade. I think his remit might have been get us through to the knockout stages in Europe, get us second place in the league, and we'll see where we go for there at the end of the season. Is that good enough for the Rangers manager, the Rangers support? No, it's no. So I can empathise with the anger.
I don't think with the wages we're paying, mate, we should be able to. I mean, there's no team in Scotland, but I don't think we'll beat this season yet. Am I right when I say that? I think that's right, isn't it? We'll beat them, we'll beat Aberdeen, we'll beat Dundee United, we'll beat Hibs, we'll beat Hearts, we'll beat Ross County, we'll beat I think we'll beat every team in the league. Yeah?
Right,
I think I'm right when I say that, yeah, without checking it, yeah.
Aye,
So,
I think you're right.
Aye. So the problem is, if you win all the other games and all these solid points we've dropped away for them, you're not in this problem in the league. But it'll still not take away the magnitude of that result yesterday. But people might be willing to give him a bit of slack. But with the chasm that's opened up and then that result yesterday, I just think it's no pun intended here. And they'll bring him in. It's a bridge too far. See what I've done there, bridge.
I like that one. Very good indeed. Wow. You're quite good, Oxy, aren't you? You're quite good at that.
Years of practice, mate. Years of practice.
Aye. What can I say? I don't know, all you guys, and I love you to bits, but when I listen to you and I think you're messing with my head, some of you know. So I don't want to make any major prediction, but I've got a sneaking, well, I'm hoping, maybe it's a hope, there's going to be something happen tomorrow. Because there's got to be some sort of announcement to let us know whether, given the furore it's causing among the fans anyway, somebody's got to come out and say we're happy with him, we're going to live with it, we're going to get over that problem, and etc. etc. We know the spiel. It's got to happen like that for the board. Somebody's got to tell us something. They can't let us go on until the next game and then think, oh, here we go. And then it might be a disaster there. And then it's, I told you so. Get, you know, it's going to be panic stations. They've got to say something tomorrow. What do you think, Oxford? Do you think they'll say something tomorrow?
Do I think? Bizarrely, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I know what I would say tomorrow. I'd call a press conference and I'd be looking, but unless there's talks going on this new bridge and they're going to take as long as they take, depending what the deal is and what the move is next, I really don't know. I'm purely speculating. I don't want to set the hairs rolling. I'd have thought, I'll be honest with you, I'd have thought if you were going to date, you'd have done it last night, you know, because of the way everybody was feeling. But now the dust settled, it sort of makes you think, is anything going to happen? You know, I really don't know. I don't know how they're going to, what way they're going to turn. Bob, Joe?
Well, it seems to me like we're just going round in a big giant circle. And Rangers are too big a club. Christ, we're one of the biggest clubs in the one world football. I'm not overstating myself here. And we've got ourselves into a right hell of a mess. And we all thought recently there we were starting to turn a wee corner, beating them, etc. Some of the results we've had in Europe have been good, but then it's been proved not to be good enough. And here we are again, stuck at, like you said, a chasm in the league. We're out all the cup competitions. We're not going to win the Europa League. What an outlook we've got. And people are going to walk. There's no two ways about it. I mean, I was hearing the day that there are big spaces in the terrace and the Ibrox, and these spaces are only going to get bigger towards the end of the season. And is this the juncture we're at? Are we going lower and they're going higher? What a thought, boys. What a thought. You get me, I like to come on the programme here and use all a good laugh and a good conversation, but that's exactly the juncture that is it. We're going lower and they're going higher. And this league's so poor that we couldn't finish second in it, but I don't know. That yesterday I'll never stop supporting Rangers, never will any use. We know that. Rangers are a club, Rangers are our love. But something's got to happen, whether it's announcements, changes of management, changes of board. I don't know. Somebody somewhere must do something. Who they are and where they are, God only knows. And I don't think I'm far off the mark with the assessments.
Aye. What do you think will happen, AK?
What I would like to happen is exactly what Bridgeman's saying. A statement to come out, and if they are backing them, give us the reasons why, and then we can maybe, empathise a wee bit with them and understand the direction the club's going in. But do I think they will? No, I don't think they will, because they don't seem to have the bottle to front up.
You think you could put anything in a statement that would bring the support room, the majority of the support room? It would need to be the Gettysburg Address, wouldn't it?
Can I say something else?
Carry on.
At the moment, we all can. At the moment, we all know the club, the support, who are the lifeblood of the club, is severely split. I don't know what the percentages are, but it's split right down the middle. And if they keep Clement, okay, fine. And if they sack him, then it's still fine with a lot of people. But what I'm trying to say is, it's got to have a financial deficit on the club. If he stays, a lot of people are going to walk. They're not going to support him. So therefore, you've got a massive split in the support, and it's got to be healed. We must have a united support every week, backing out the stadium. I mean, all right, I don't go anywhere, but I mean, backing out the stadium, backing out the away stadiums to support the team. At the moment, we've not got that. Everything's divided. Everything's up in the air. It's a total ball of confusion, and it's got to be sorted out one way or another. And it's so frustrating for us all to go round in circles all the time. Christ only knows. We'll see in the coming days what happens, because we can't keep carrying on like this. This is the 10th of February and the season's finished.
Yeah. Can I ask you something, AK?
On you go.
Yeah, no. If there was, I'm not saying that if there was an obvious candidate there, would that sway you differently? Because I get your point. There ain't an obvious candidate, And there will be a lot of talk of Gerrard because of what's happened with him in the last few weeks. But is he an obvious candidate? I don't know if he is.
I think he's became an obvious candidate because he was our last manager that gave us league success. But Bridgeman, he'd a war chest of over 30 million. And to get that, Clement doesn't have that at his disposal, or else maybe he'd be merely successful what he is. People are talking about Derek McInnes, they're talking about Barry Ferguson, they're talking, Billy Davies, Stephen Robinson. That's the sort of level of manager that you're looking at. Is that good enough for our club? This is where it comes to. But then in the reverse of that, is Clement good enough for our club? And that's where you've got to weigh the balance.
Can I come back on that just for a second?
The level of success that we have.
Can I come back on that? One of the things that comes just when you were speaking there, if you said you could give him 30 million quid and he could do some, before you would do that, just look back at his record with the club. I don't know how much he spent with the club. I don't know how much the club has spent on players that he was a manager over in his short time, because he's only 18 months if he's that, So
Gerrard's 3 years, mate. 3 years.
No. Clement.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just meaning. Forget that. If you gave Clement 30 million, he could buy good players. He had good players, and they were been doing really well in Europe. And we were a wee bit high. The Rangers fans have been a wee bit high, and I think we were forgiving the bad results and so on before. But my goodness gracious, this is like a screeching halt with this one. I'm just being what AK was saying. If we gave this guy 30 million quid, could you guarantee that he'll get a good team runner and they'll be able to play in our league and win every game? No, I don't think you could. He had a team, he built a team, they looked good, and we were giving ourselves pats in the back and so on and so forth. And then that game that it played yesterday came out of nowhere. That came out of nowhere and it smashed every one of us in the face. This is what we are. This is what we are. We've got a manager who, by the looks of it, does quite well for a wee while and then it just shuts down on him. And I don't know what to do, and I don't know if he knows what to do. And we're all scratching our head and wondering what on earth we're going to do. And that's what I feel, son.
He's an oil rig worker, AK.
Go on then.
Carry on, there's a fun coming now.
Exactly.
Every month, 3 weeks on, 1 week off. Know what I mean?
Aye, very good.
I was actually shocked at the cemetery through that way. Every month we had a bad result in the last in a whole year. For last March right through to this February, mate. When I actually looked at it, I went, "That's right." That's right.
So he's always had a bad weekend.
Aye, maybe there's no jokes, no jokes. No, I'm not even me. I'm not going to touch that one. You can if you want, but it'll be your last time on the show. But I was actually surprised, you know, when you actually split it into the calendar months. I have, even though I think the chasm's too deep, I have got a bit of sympathy in the circumstances. But some of the things he's done in the football side has been baffling. Like, I think it was all David who talked about the substitution yesterday, and I don't think people were, maybe the majority of them, were too surprised to see young Bailey starting. But then the other people were adamant, no, you start your best team and get the game done. And maybe that would be the experience of Scottish football. We would maybe do that and just get it done and then see what it takes you, particularly when you've got 5 substitutes.
Okay, can I step in for a wee minute and just bring you back?
Yes.
You were talking about like what goes right, and I heard the man talk about getting Gerrard back, right? And I can see where he's coming from, right? But everybody at Gerrard's bench, he's took Beale with him. I can't Beale anywhere near our teammate. I mean, any club.
That's another subject, yeah. That's a whole other debate, mate. And yeah, I think that ship might have sailed, you know. See the guy, I don't disagree with you, James. Okay, see the guys you mentioned, yeah, there is maybe a place for them for all of them at Ibrox to go and get them and make them a number 2. Yeah, if you get the right manager in. I mean, I know they're all managers in their own right, but there's a big draw and obviously there's a big salary uplift, similar to what Graham Souness done with Walter Smith, mate. Go and get them.
Yeah.
Because whatever we're doing this news, no one, you know.
Aye.
The guy's just come in, he's an assistant, doesn't know what he's walked into, has he?
Aye, the Moroccan guy.
Aye.
That's another wage added to his coaching staff. But no, listen, I get your thinking there. Somebody to pass the baton on to what Walter was doing with Ali. But we don't have a Walter to step in after the Paul Le Guen era, you know.
Like
Walter
done with Graham Souness.
Aye.
Walter done with Ali, but you know, these are all experiences in Scottish football. Now, I'm up for debate. I don't think anyone would placate the support at the moment, but I'll be interested to see in that debate still to take place, because the manager has to go before you have that debate. Roger?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I believe it sincerely. That's what's going to have to happen. But we have batted it around a wee bit here, and I don't think there's MD completely the opposite. You know, I think we're kind of half. So a lot of it might be half and half. I'm definite. I don't want to lose the guy because it's going to cost a lot of money. But he's going to have to go, and we have to be realistic and watch what's happening. And obviously tomorrow will be another day, and we'll wake up and feel a bit better, and maybe something will happen, and the board will come out and tell us what we're going to do, and it's going to be really, really good for us. That's my dream. That's I don't want to take that away from myself at the moment. That's my dream. The board are going to come out tomorrow and say, there you are, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Don't worry about a thing.
Doesn't feel like that, you know.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
With a couple of calls there at the end, we've just not been able to go on, but hopefully you'll still be raised tomorrow night to get you on. It's been a bit of debate. I think we're in maybe no opposite camps, but different camps. But last word for your good self, James, and thanks for joining us tonight, mate.
No, listen, thanks for taking my call, mate. Kind of feel a wee bit better after talking to you guys. I mean, it doesn't take away the hurt and the kind of disappointment, but I mean, we are the people, and I mean, we'll get through this. I mean, what we do. So, I mean, yeah, we are the people. So,
Right.
I mean, upwards and onwards. I mean,
Cheers, mate. Just before you go, I think we're being joined by a caller who's come in right at the end. I think it's Noora. You've been Noora.
It's Noonka, and I apologise. It's just at the tail end here. I just want to make the point, guys. When Clement was asked pre-presser at Queen's Park, he was digged out about his Monaco team, who went out the French Cup with a team, I don't know who it was, but it was, I think the journal said two leagues below you, and his answer was, I made mistakes that day playing too many young guys, and the senior guys that were there didn't help the young guys. So it's not as if he's not got form for this. Maybe you could take it into tomorrow night show, I don't know, but their attitudes were just they had to turn up yesterday, and that's not good enough. And I've listened to the show most of the night, and I just want to thank you all for your contributions, guys.
What you did at 8:10 tomorrow?
8:10 tomorrow?
Aye.
I'll need to get my crystal ball. I'll need to look at the stars tonight, get my telescope out. No, I'll phone up tomorrow with the point.
Phone up, okay. We can open all that up for debate, yeah?
Yep.
All right. Thanks for coming on, make your point, yeah?
Right, thanks, guys.
All right, cheers.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Bye,
God
cheers.
bless.
Thank you.
Yeah. Too articulate for us, that'll no last, AK.
Oh, no, none of that.
Far too articulate.
Use your scheme accent.
Far too articulate. Last word to your good self, Bob Chair.
Hi, thanks for having me tonight, once again. I can't remember the last time I felt so low as a Rangers fan. Hopefully it will sort itself. Again, more questions and answers going round in circles, and I hope there's an announcement soon about what's going to happen. I'll have to be. I'll probably see you tomorrow night, guys. Zero on the lassie. She made a really good point. I'll look forward to
Yeah, she was. Excellent point she made.
Cheers, Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's digging out
your mind. Sorry about the lack of jokes, boys, but they've all come back.
Oh, I say that every night, Bob Jill. AK.
Thanks again for tonight, Ox. Enjoyed the show tonight. Battered and bruised as the lone Ranger. But it's good debate. It's one of them. We don't know where we're going to go forward, but really good debate with yourself, Bridgeman, the legend. Thanks to the callers coming in, the techie boys in the background, and everybody for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it.
No, and it's over in the bridge.
What can I say, Ox? There, absolutely tremendous. I never expected it to be so good. It's, it's probably tomorrow we will feel a bit better, easier. Maybe we'll never be right, but you know what I mean. So thanks a big thanks to yourself. Oh yeah, but a lot of truth in that. So, and a big thank you to Alex for AK for carrying me through this tonight, because I didn't think I was going to make it. And obviously, the techie boys in the background, to all the Rangers fans that are listening in here on Rangers Radio, please don't be like me. Follow the team and keep it going for the Rangers. Never mind my depression. Keep it going.
Listen, I hope I said this right. Nunca, who came in right here at the death, it was good to hear from. Hopefully we're here for tomorrow night and we continue on that debate. Thanks to James for joining us, Bob Jer, Paul Davey. Thanks to AK and Bridge for doing the show. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technical. Thanks to everybody for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.